So I know what I'm about to say is not popular, but I promise you it's very beneficial. And I want you to understand the importance of praying for doors to be closed, because I know oftentimes we want to hear like, God, I'm standing under an open heaven, and the doors are open, and the floodgates are pouring in many blessings. But I also understand that God does not go against himself. And at the same time, you have to understand that the Bible says in Luke 5:37 that Jesus spoke to him in a parable, and he talked about how God does not put new wine into old wineskin. And then also, if you read Isaiah 61 verse 3, you will also see where the Bible says that God gave them beauty for ashes. And the thing about it is, sometimes we want the blessings of God to manifest in our lives, but we have doors that need to be closed. And sometimes when you're holding on to a door, or God is trying to close that door, but you're holding on to that door and you're keeping it open, you're blocking your own blessing. And so a lot of times we need the strength of God to intervene so that we can have the strength and the grace to shut the door finally, so that your blessings will not be blocked, and people or things that aren't supposed to go with you into a season try to enter into that door. So you got to ask God to close these doors so that the promises can prevail. But watch this. I want to say the book of Joshua chapter 5, don't quote me, or 6, when it talks about the walls of Jericho came down. You got to remember that even before the walls of Jericho, God had promised them that he had already given them the land. And so when you understand that, now you got to realize, but they still had to follow instructions. Right? And so when you want the promises of God and the blessings of God, he may have these things for you, but you got to still follow the instructions of God. You still got to be obedient and align yourself with the word that he's spoken over your life, and not try to do it the way he did it for somebody else. Stop following other people's patterns and not being obedient to the authority and the assignment and the guidance that God has on your life. Pray for them doors to be shut, and I guarantee you that you'll start seeing the promises of God prevail and manifest in your life.